If you have any reason.
We haven't accepted any drug cartel money.
Okay.
Again, if they could just put that in affidavit or an affiliated organization.
You okay, Mr. Duke?
I'd like to look at the affidavit.
Okay, fair enough. But do you know if you've accepted any money?
I do not know of anything like that.
Right, yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. All right, so, good hearing. Senator Merkley, I'll let you go first. I'll have a few words and we'll go vote.
Well, let's start with the Gang of Eight that my colleague referred to from 2013. Democrats and Republicans came together, 4 and 4. They crafted a bill on immigration. It was all about the rule of law on the border. Democrats and Republicans together saying the rule of law matters. And it addressed many of the immigration challenges that we have in different sectors, be it employment, agriculture, a path to citizenship for people who'd been here a long time, path to citizenship for dreamers, Democrats and Republicans together. So one of the myths we've heard today from some of my colleagues is that Democrats don't support the rule of law. Absolutely wrong. What happened to that 2013 bill that went over to the House of Representatives, controlled by Republicans? They would not even hold a hearing on it. They wanted to keep an open sore of immigration as a political issue. In 2024, Democrats and Republicans in the Senate came together again, crafted a deal, and it was President Trump as a candidate who said, don't do it, I want to keep immigration as an election issue. So I just think it would be more productive if we quit casting aspersions across the aisle and go back to the philosophy of 2013 and work together to actually get a bill done, or the philosophy of 2024. And certainly all of us agree in going after violent criminals. That's the second myth that was presented today, that people don't support going after violent criminals. Absolutely a myth, and it's just irritating to continuously hear that. Myth number 3 from one of my colleagues was that Democrats won't fund FEMA. In fact, last week in the Senate, we asked unanimous consent to fund FEMA and the Coast Guard and TSA, and it was the Republicans that objected. So let's clear up that piece. The next myth, that is that undocumented individuals receive benefits. It is illegal under the law for undocumented individuals to receive Medicaid or Medicare or CHIP or SNAP or Social Security benefits. Another myth, that states that have decided that local police are more effective being local police somehow attract immigrants because they're not held accountable to the law. They are held accountable to the law. In fact, you have lower crime rates in those states. So that's kind of interesting. And in fact, we see that some states, like Texas, they have 50% more undocumented immigrants as a ratio of population than Oregon does. So clearly it's not Oregon's policies that say we're more effective and safer and more prosperous when ICE does ICE and local police do local police work. And yet another myth. One of my colleagues across the aisle said states do not have powers. He says they do not have rights, but they do have powers, 10th Amendment. The powers not delegated to the U.S. by the Constitution are reserved to the states and to the people. And that is why the federal government cannot commandeer individuals in the states to do federal responsibilities. It's called the Constitution of the United States of America. Another myth was that it's less safe in states where local police do local police work. There's many statistics that show the opposite of that. But let's just take, for example, where is the highest murder rate in America? Is it in a state where local police are assigned to local police? No. It's Mississippi. Who's the second highest murder rate? Louisiana. How's the murder rate in Oregon? It is 1/4 of what is in those states. So let's be clear again, this myth that you have higher crime rates in places where the local police gain the trust of the people, work carefully between state and local and with federal officials, but they don't do the work of ICE. And if ICE knows that someone is in a jail, and they know because it's in the federal database, in the FBI database, and they want that person, it only takes a couple days to go get a judicial warrant and pick that person up. Every time there's a judicial warrant, that person is held. So if it's just being lazy or sloppy or whatever else, there's a whole lot of misinformation coming forward here that needed to be corrected.